Well,
That's right. We're on live. We're gonna get this thing done one way or another. What's up to y'all?
Welcome to Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind, stimulate your mind, and welcome all kind. It's Sunday afternoon, and I have a very special guest joining us all the way from Barbados. We're going to be talking about social butterfly versus a homebody person. Make sure you, to the new subscribers, you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, and after you've done all that, make sure to share. Stick around because it might be some information that you might not even know about. Probably know yourself if you were a social butterfly or if you were a homebody individual. um, for those who are just joining us, my name is Anthony, and I try to bring topics that are interesting, not only just about blindness, but trying to be diverse. And this is one. So we're going to be talking to a young lady, and I'm quite sure she loves the fact that I call her young lady from Barbados. I'm gonna allow her to introduce herself, and I hope the feed is pretty good because when talking to somebody from another country, the feed sort of messes up. But we're gonna give it a try and see how this works. So with that being said, introduce yourself, guest.
hi, Anthony. My name is Udally Wickham Ashby, all the way, as you said, from Barbados, the sunny, beautiful island of Barbados. And I'm visually impaired. I'm also a social worker by profession. I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I'm a social butterfly and a homebody. So we shall have a very good discussion this evening.
Good, good. I'm excited about that. Is the music too loud?
No,
'Cause
that's cool.
it's cool. There you go. That's cool. It has that like look Caribbean feel. Um, Social butterfly, homebody, introvert, extrovert. What do you consider? You say you can consider yourself more so a homebody, considering the fact that you.
I'm an introvert. People disagree with me when I say that I'm an introvert, that I'm shy, but I do have a very reserved personality. However, when it is necessary, I do become the extrovert. I do become the advocate, the adversary that needs to step out from time to time. So, yes, I'm both.
Well, I consider myself a social butterfly. I love to mingle. I love to get out and just share my love, share myself with people, and just talk amongst them. And I don't know. I guess, and I'm gonna credit this to my fifth grade teacher. I used to be kind of shy and not necessarily a homebody person, but I was kind of like antisocial. And I was in fifth grade, and she brought that out of me. So I want to thank Mrs. A10 for allowing me to be an extrovert, a social butterfly, and this also helped in me pursuing a this YouTube thing as well. Um, with the emergence of and I want to talk about that, the emergence of the pandemic. Those individuals who may have been a social butterfly, love to go out and intertwine, may have caused them to kind of slow down and become more homebody. Do you agree? And talk about that.
Yes, I definitely agree. I think the COVID-19 pandemic has forced quite a lot of people to slow down and not float around like the butterfly and, go to this flower and that flower and all these functions that we are accustomed attending. And it has also caused many individuals to really pause and try to keep themselves alert and alive because it can be suffocating and a bit stifling for some individuals who are so accustomed to just being on the move, being on the go, and then to have to slow right down and almost pause everything because of the various lockdowns and the social and physical distancing. So it does impact the individual at a physiological and a physical level.
Would you say that this pandemic has, in some cases, by you saying slow people down, has caused people to slow down, take a chill pill, as they say, and just rethink their whole life and allow them to put things in more of a greater, a better perspective? You follow me, social worker?
Yes, I do think so. I do think that the majority, not everybody, but the majority of people have taken this time to really reflect and do some serious introspection on their lives and what family means to them and what friendship means to them and what really is valuable in life. Because sometimes some people were on such a busy track that all they were thinking about was just the material things, building a big massive house, having the type of car they want, the BMW or whatever other brand, flying all over the world, those type of material things. I'm not saying that they're not important, but they were priority for a lot of people rather than being secondary, and just ensuring that you as an individual build up yourself as a quality person, as someone who have various good values and love people and show love to people and be generous and all these type of things, have a good integrity and so on. So it really has caused a lot of people to pause and reflect on themselves and really think of how they can improve their own lives and touch other people's lives in a positive way.
That is definitely that I can definitely agree with you on that, because I have definitely done a great deal of reflecting since I have become more homebody, and when it's helped me out. I've become like basically a little more reserved than I had once was. Is there some disadvantages to as a social worker? Is there some disadvantages to being maybe let's talk about the person who's a homebody. Is there disadvantages of being like a homebody person? You feel me?
But I think I'm also an optimist, Anthony. So even things that may be considered as negative or challenging, I tend to look at them through different lenses where I'm thinking, okay, so how can I make this complaint? How can I make this challenge? How can I make this negative activity, event, or thought into something useful? And I think if we start to develop that type of thinking and really help our thought patterns to be more on the optimistic level and be also realistic about it, not optimistic with dreamy type of thoughts, but be optimistic and thinking, okay, yes, COVID-19 has hemmed us in a bit, so I'm more of a homebody now. What can I do that I always wanted to do that I may not have done before?
Hmm.
You may want to learn how to bake cakes. You may want to learn how to do rotis, do some wood carvings or something like that. So you can turn it around positively for yourself and for others. But what my big concern about is how do you balance your mental health? Because as you were asking, some people may just stick on the negative. Oh, I can't go out. I can't go visit my mom, my grandfather, or I can't go with my girlfriend. These type of visitations that you usually would make. And you feel bad about it. And then you might start to, slide on that negative slope,
Hmm.
and it can affect your mental health if you don't try to balance it and think, okay, so I'm not able to visit, let me just do a video chat, because we all have mobile, most of us have mobile phones, so let's do a video chat, let's talk to the individual and keep the spirits up.
That's true. I like that. That's a great answer. Now let's put the pandemic aside and speak more so of people who are homebody. Do you think that a person uh, who's a homebody individual, do they miss out or on just living life and experiencing life, or saying, are there any negatives in that aspect by them not going out and socializing or becoming a so not social butterfly, but just close enough to just to interact and know what life is all about and just intertwine. You follow me?
Well, this is my view, and I think that the homebodies do miss out. Because as a social butterfly, you're able to interact with others. You're able to really experience things at a new level and learn about other cultures, other people, share perspectives, and really develop yourself, learn, broaden your knowledge. Versus if you just remain at home and do very little to improve yourself and to enhance your interpersonal skills with other people. Because talking face to face with someone is far different to talking to that individual on the phone, because face to face you get the energy from the other person, or the other person picks up your energy, so there's a good vibe going. And when you do that on the phone, you may not always get it. So homebodies need to have a little social life, and let the color float around with them.
Exactly, and it also transfer to those individuals who's trying to pursue employment outside of the home.
Yes.
If you, and I'm gonna let you comment or talk about that. If you don't have the skills to interact, that becomes a problem. Go ahead and speak on that.
It does, because as persons who are blind or visually impaired, or even having other types of disabilities or other vulnerabilities, like persons who are living in poverty, sometimes they also have some thoughts in terms of how they view themselves.
Mhm.
So having that interaction, learning how to really converse with individuals, learning how to read people's body languages, and be able to recognize when, okay, don't say anything at this point, or just save that comment for a later point in the conversation or another time altogether. So it allows you to really develop very good personal skills that will allow you to have great conversations, be able to read people well, and know when and how you too can be involved or just withdraw a bit, so that the flow keeps going the right way.
It's a great point. That's a great point. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, as a social butterfly, a person who's very sociable and is extrovert and gets out and just mingles, is there something to the fact that one can be just over zealous or just overly too social?
Yeah, there's some people who can be overzealous with being a social butterfly, being out there, always at every function, and always having to be the center of attraction and center of attention. And I think l- with everything in life, you should have and do it in moderation. So therefore, as a social butterfly, you choose your events, you choose your activities that you will attend very carefully, and you also look at how do you float at that particular event. Do I need to be the center of attraction at that event,
Great
or do I just be part of the decor?
point.
Just keep the attraction of the building, keep the attraction of the event light and lively, beautiful. So therefore, it's important that we understand how, when, where, and why, and be able to contribute to the event in a very positive way. And sometimes you don't have to be the one always talking, the one always making the point, always making the splash moment to make the event a happy, good one. But sometimes just being quiet, giving that quiet support, is also necessary as a socialite.
Now, that's a great point. Do you think that a person who is very socially and interactive, socially active in terms of socializing, just intertwining, that comes from where the confidence as a social worker? Give some uh, where do you think it comes from? As far as a person being able to having a great outward appearance like that. You follow me?
Yes, I think several things. One, it comes from you, the individual. As you said, Anthony, how confident are you in yourself? And that confidence grows from your knowledge and your experiences. So if you want to attend horse racing, or a ballet show for the first time, you've never been to these events, you can talk to people who may have attended them so that you get a sense of what takes
Hmm.
place and how you should interact or how you should dress and so on, as well as, just making friends with people allows you also to develop the confidence that you can attend various functions and fit right in, feel comfortable with the crowd that is there, and you're able to have excellent conversations and know how to hold your wine glass and know how to use your knife and fork correctly, how to move gracefully. I think all of this adds to your confidence, and then you're able now to fit right in to those various situations.
I love that. Those are some great pointers that you that you've come up with. We're speaking with and pardon me because your name is very hard to say. Uh, say your name again.
Usually,
Udally. We're speaking with Udally. She's a social worker from Barbados. For those who are just joining us, and we're talking about the distinctions between social butterfly and a homebody individual. And I've already, or people who know me already know that I am a social individual. Now, uh, and she's, we talked about several techniques and several reasons people become socially inactive and choose to stay at home. Now let's talk about since that I have some blind listeners. What advice can you give individuals who are visually impaired or totally blind, who are afraid, who wants to be at home, who are afraid to go out and socialize and what have you? Give them some. What do you have to say about individuals such as that?
well, let us acknowledge, Anthony, that traveling as a blind person is always and can be very challenging.
Hmm.
So, therefore, that's the first hurdle I think we need to tackle and understand the type of transport we need to use. If we can afford to use taxis, if we can afford, the type of transport that is very affordable and available to us to make our journey to and from, the event or the activity as comfortable as possible. So planning ahead is pretty important. If you're going to a function, you need to plan ahead what
Hmm.
type of transport you will use, how you will get there, when you will arrive, when you will leave. Are you going by yourself? Are you going with someone? What type of outfits you will wear, what type of function it is, and what type of outfits are required or needed for that type of function. Because you don't want to go to horse races in a nice silk dress that would be a ball in the evening. You want to go with jeans or some other
Wait,
gar. But then the other thing, as you look at
you're breaking up.
what type of clothing you'll wear, you also need to look at how you're going to groom yourself, that you look beautiful, you look handsome, you look comfortable in your skin. So, like for me, I keep my hair short because it's more manageable. I can manage it independently. I wouldn't have to constantly call on someone to look to see if my hair is well groomed, if it's styled nicely, or if I have hair sticking out, and so on. And I'm not into heavy makeup, so I wear a light bit of powder. So I just put my powder on, a little bit of lipstick, and I'm cool with that. So you match your jewelry with your outfits as well, your shoes, your bags, everything. So you prepare, you plan ahead. And then when you get to the function again, you find at least one person that you can have a conversation with that will ease your discomfort. You may not know a lot of people at the function, but at least if you can get into a good conversation with one person, that will help to bring your comfort level up and your confidence level up as well. So
Okay.
simple things like that.
Now I've visited a lot of Facebook groups where there have been a lot of totally blind people who have been afraid to go out in public because and you brought up a good point as far as keep the way you dress and things that you do, but they have had a lot who have been afraid to go out because they don't know how things look on them. They don't know how they look, and these were individuals who had no sight. What do you say to those individuals? Because those individuals sort of may lack a little confidence and might not want to, if they feel that way, might not want to go out and just choose just to stay home and be a homebody. What do you have to say to those individuals? Like,
Face the fear and do it anyway.
yeah,
Face the fear and do it anyway. I would say, yes, you may be fearful, but what you can do as your first step is ask a sighted person or use one of the applications that allow you to have a sighted
great
person
point.
to look through your wardrobe and match your clothing. Develop your own technique to match a black shirt with a pink pants or a green shirt with a black pants. So you develop your own technique to label your clothes and put them together so that you know which outfit is for which occasion and so on. And then you can start very simple. Invite a friend out to lunch. Invite one of your family members out to lunch, and you dress up and you build up your confidence,
Yeah, yep, great point.
arrange transport or arrange someone to collect you, and you go to the restaurant and just sit with your family, your friend, have a nice lunch, and start doing that on a regular basis to help build up your confidence and find at least one honest friend that will examine you and say to you, "Hey, Anthony, you look smashing today in that lovely yellow shirt you're wearing with that black pants. That shade of yellow complements your skin tone." So you need to find friends that will be true to you and help you to develop the confidence with what you wear and how you're able to get out there and really celebrate life, because we need to celebrate life.
Yep, that's a great point. And I like how you stress that and what you said about, because it all comes together as far as taking the initiative and getting out and becoming socially
Yeah,
active and being a butterfly, being a person who has confidence and being the center of attention in some aspects, and just being, especially if you're visually impaired or you impaired in any way, shape, or form. If you don't
correct,
allow that disability to take control, and
correct.
you let that put that in the back burner, and you develop a sense of confidence, I think you will win. Because like I said, there are a lot of individuals who choose to be a homebody person. My question to you in regards to this: do you think a lot of individuals who have become homebody, as far as visually impaired, have been sheltered by their maybe their parents or people who kind of raised them?
Some may have been sheltered, and some may have had a negative experience or an experience which impacted them negatively, and as a result, they tend then to withdraw from society and just remain at home and be comfortable with doing home, the household chores and allowing people to come to their homes and whatever. But I would say this to you, Anthony. Where I work, it has four. I'm on the fourth floor, and each morning and most evenings when I'm going to work and leaving work, I climb those stairs, and sometimes I actually run up those stairs, and sometimes some of my own colleagues or other people in the building, would watch me and in amazement go like, "Oh, be careful, don't hurt
Mhm.
yourself, don't fall. I don't want you to fall. Walk." And I'm like, "No, I'm doing what I want to do. And if I fall, I fall. That's a given that anyone can fall at any time. So therefore, just try not to allow other persons to indicate to you what can happen to you that naturally can happen to other people as well.
Yeah,
So
that's true. I like those ideas. I like those tips that you've given me, and I'm glad we did this topic, because I don't like to hear anybody talking about, well, I don't want to go in because I don't know nobody. I don't, and I'd rather stay at home. No, I mean, even with visually impaired people, if you just get out and just, like you said,
yes,
face
yes,
your fears. I just don't like when they just, I'd rather stay at home because I'm blind. Stop making excuses about certain
correct,
situations, and grab the horse by the tail, and just, you only live once, and just go
yes.
and just do it.
Yes.
Go ahead. You comment on that.
And one of the points I want to also bring to our attention is that lots and lots of people admire us for our strength when we step out there,
That's great.
do things, because so many people watch me when I go to work and how I move around and how I go and do my home visits and come back to the office and type up my reports and so on. And people are always complimenting me and thanking me for encouraging them and inspiring them. That sometimes when they feel down and out and they see the energy coming from me, that they too then get an upliftment,
Mhm.
and try to do things better for themselves and for other people. So I want to encourage those persons who are blind or have a vision impairment or have any type of disability, any type of phobia, to just step out, face that fear, and step out. And you'll be surprised that you will get support. People will always be out there willing to give you that positive feedback as well as that positive support. And you may get just disoriented. And if you just pause for the moment, somebody may pass along and say, "Hey, are you okay? Can I help?" And intuitively, you tend to know who you can trust and allow to assist you at that point. There have been occasions where persons have actually come up to me and offered assistance, and I got a bad vibe, and I would make an excuse and allow them to go on. And then another person who comes along, and I catch that, "Hey, this person can be trusted, yeah." And I would say, "Okay, yes, I need your assistance at this point."
Mhm. So get out, get up and do something. I mean,
Right.
there's no excuse for you not. There's just no excuse for you not taking the initiative to do and get out the house and stop being a homebody and just socialize. And that way, it'll break that stigmatism that many people have about individuals
Mm-hmm.
who are
Mm-hmm.
impaired, or if you're short, if you whatever the case may be. We're just not gonna speak on blindness, but if you have any type of what a person may consider to be inhibitions or whatever, you just get out and face those fears because nobody else is gonna face them for you. You know.
Yes, yes.
So with that being said, I want to first of all thank you again for coming on the show and tell everybody a little bit about what you have going and where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Okay. I have quite a lot going on with me. As I said, I'm optimistic. I'm very active. Outside of my own social work with the government, I host a 30-minute radio program called Visions. It's on the Voice of Barbados 92.9. So you can go on VOB929.com. Look for Visions. The podcasts are there. So
Mm,
you can always go and listen to past episodes. And I also have my Facebook page, which is pretty active, posting lots of information around disability, around social work, and so on. And you can find me at Euda Wickham. That is EUDAWICKHAM. So you can always hit me up on that, send me a friend request, So,
okay, I'm gonna put that in the link. So when we get off here, can you send me those links that I
no
can so I can put
problem.
into the description?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And I'm also the president of a cross disability group in Barbados. It's called Barnard. So pretty active. I'm in the Kiwanis. So I'm doing lots of community work, helping persons who are, in the community that are vulnerable and need assistance. So I'm doing quite a lot because I think that I have a purpose to fulfill.
I like that. And there's more to her than her being visually impaired. So don't use that as an excuse. Get up,
No, no excuse.
get out and socialize. So with that
Yes.
being said, Udally, I got it. I want to thank you for coming on. I know you got your grandkids are waiting for you, but I'm glad you allowed me to have your time for 30 minutes. And if there's anything else I can do for you, you let me know. And I'm looking forward to being on your show this week, I
Yes,
think.
pretty soon.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. So y'all take
Very
care.
much.
Go ahead.
I
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it as well.
Okay. Well, social butterfly versus homebody. You determine which one you are you. So, with that being said, send me the links and I'll put them in the description and we can make it happen.
Correct.
Thank
Wonderful.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye.